Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com. It's game day, Tigers. Score big with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home court advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
Ho, welcome to the Make It Jingle with Kris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi.
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses on you. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness. Escape reality in the indoor saltwater pool. Detox from the saunas or heat things up with our hot yoga. Wilson's is here to support you, motivate you, and help smash your goals with group fitness classes, personal coaching, and endless amenities. Move better, feel better, simply live better at Wilson's Fitness in Columbia. Visit them at wilsonsfitness.com.
We are at a Columbia tradition. It's called Harpo's in downtown. I'm Mike Kelly. Dennis Gates is alongside. Coming up in our next segment, John Sunville will join us. We'll close the show. A couple of segments with Tamar Bates, partner with the Tigers and the Food Bank, the official charitable partner of Mizzou Athletics. Visit scoreagainsthunger.org to learn more about the Score Against Hunger campaign presented by MPICS. From the creators of Beatbox and Peachtree Catering, check out Belly Market and Rotisserie. Enjoy one of Belly's massive sandwiches with house-smoked meats, a delicious salad, daily specials. Their new dinner program offers seasonal plates, fresh seafood, also new bar offerings. Tell them the Tigers sent you and get a special treat. Coach Dennis Gates is alongside. Before we talk about your next opponent, which will be Saturday morning at 11 a.m. at Mizzou Arena, Long Island University, the Sharks in town. Let's talk a little bit about Josh Gray and the progress that that young man, a season-high 10 rebounds for Josh on Saturday, scored 7 points. Just a terrific job by the gentleman known as Horse by his teammates. Just how much has he grown since he arrived here?
Well, the presence of Josh Gray makes a significant difference in our program. Obviously, his experience in the SEC, big-time shots, big-time plays, big-time opportunities to defend, and he's just doing a wonderful job. And I truly believe he fits our program, he fits our disposition, and he's one behind it. He leads it, and it's awesome to see him in action, but it's also even more awesome to see him in personality. He's a great personality.
Yeah, he really is. And the other two guys that we've got to talk about is young bucks that continue to get better every time they step on the court. Marcus Allen played significant moments, particularly in the second half from a defensive standpoint. And then also Peyton Marshall gave you some good minutes as well.
Marcus Allen and Peyton Marshall, they continue to grow each and every day, each and every practice. You can see a significant difference. But each and every week in game, you can see these guys learning through experiences. And the best part about it is their best basketball is ahead of them, and they're going to continue at the rate that they're going. And I'm just excited that they chose Mizzou and allowed me to be in their lives.
Long Island University comes to town, a rare visit from the Sharks, coached by really a legend in basketball, a guy named Rod Strickland, who was a fantastic point guard in Chicago for DePaul, and then had a great NBA career as well.
Rod Strickland is a great coach, unbelievable playing career. But LIU is a feisty team. They're going to do a lot of things. They're switch man-to-man. Sometimes they'll go into a matchup type of zone. But ultimately, they're going to come in a New York style of basketball, off the dribble, off the paint, off the bounce, trying to get into the paint and attacking every crease that they can attack. So we got to do a great job of containing the dribble, defending, but also playing how our style says our style is. and we got to do what we need to do. We're going to need our crowd to come out and support as well.
11 a.m. coming up on Saturday. Tickets available. Go online to mutigers.com. Also, I think there's a ticket special associated. Jacksonville State next week. We're 11 days away, Coach. Yeah. 11 days away from the bragging rights game in St. Louis.
So you look at Jacksonville State, Ray Harpo, longtime coach, unbelievable career, a tough team, very athletic, same. They're gritty, dangerous in their own right. But I know everyone is waiting on December 22nd. So my job as a head coach is to make sure we're focusing game by game, not getting too far ahead of ourselves, not looking too far ahead, but making sure our team's growth at the LIU game and the focus is right where it needs to be. And I'm excited about bringing our program not only in the light of getting close to conference, but playing that other game down in St. Louis is very important.
Congratulations once again on your first coaching win over a number one team. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dennis Gates.
Thank you. MIZ.
John Sunvold next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Ho, welcome to the Make It Jingle with Chris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi.
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
A message about driving safely from University of Missouri head basketball coach Dennis Gates.
Basketball requires everyone to be responsible teammates. Driving requires the same exact thing. Crashes can be avoided by practicing safe driving habits. Please leave all distractions aside. Once you're behind that wheel, that is your number one priority. Buckle up, phone down. Slow down, drive sober.
This message is brought to you by the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety.
We continue on Tiger Talk here on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield. Coming up in our next segment, Tamar Bates will join us to help us close the show as we visit with the senior from Kansas City. I want to thank our host for during the basketball season. Give it up for Harpo's, ladies and gentlemen. Located in downtown Columbia, staple of downtown Columbia since 1971. Now featuring a new food menu. Check out their daily specials and their expanded space to host your next event. And so our thanks to Harpo's. This guy really needs no introduction, but if you will, please welcome a guy who's not only a former All-American, his jersey hangs high above the arena court, but he's also a former President of the Board of Curators, my friend John Sunville, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Mike, we used to do this a long time ago on the headsets, didn't we?
I'm the one that got you into TV, basically because you got tired of working with me after a couple of seasons.
Yeah, the radio with you took too long, so I went the other side.
Now, be honest with me.
Yeah.
How many times during your career were you in Harpo's?
Oh, never. And we weren't allowed. We weren't old enough. We studied every night, and we practiced during the day. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's getting a little deep in here. I think I even remember after a game watching you guys interviewed from maybe a booth here in Harpo's by a St. Louis TV station. Just saying.
So you got a better memory than I do.
Yeah. Anyway, what'd you think of Sunday?
That was fun. What's not to like about what went on? It was such fun because it was a great start, and the crowd was unbelievable, which we knew they would be. Kansas looked a little shell-shocked. The speed that Mizzou played at, I thought the length that Missouri has in the guard position, especially Anthony out front. I thought our bigs were more physical, and it's rare that a Kansas team looks rattled, but they were rattled. Bill wasn't happy. I sit kind of across. Bill Self was not happy, and they could not really get it back together. Now they did the second half, and you expect it, but what a fabulous afternoon.
When you evaluate this team this early in the season, just some of the things that you see that you like about the way this club plays.
I think the key, obviously you had the Memphis game, and then you had a stretch of games where, let's just say, they were easier. I did the Cal Missouri game for SEC Network, and the first half wasn't good. But the second half, something happened, and the ability of this team to be able to get to the paint with the dribble off the bounce, with a number of different guys, all of a sudden it's a different team than maybe a year ago that so relied all the time on the jump shot. So now we're shooting free throws, we're getting to the paint, we're doing things more around the rim, which then frees up, obviously, shots for tomorrow, and you get Caleb Grill back and guys that get open looks compared to challenge looks from out deep. I just thought the second half of the Cal game, something clicked and something happened. I don't want to call it bully ball, but we were aggressive and we attacked. And I think this particular group of guys is hard to stop if they play that way.
I want to look back to your career, and it's hard for me to say this, that it was some 40 years ago now. Jeez. Isn't it amazing? But, you were a part of a team that won 4 Big 8 conference titles, right? And you played for the legendary Norm Stewart. You and I have talked about this many, many times, but you tell the story about your freshman year. You come into Columbia and could barely get the ball down the court against a guy named Larry Drew.
People tend to forget, obviously, as we get older, how many great players have been here. But when I was a freshman, Larry Drew was a senior. Larry was an All-American. Larry was a first-round draft pick. Larry turned out to be, I don't know if he played 12, 13, 14 years. He's been an NBA coach, head coach, assistant. Yeah, it's a rude awakening when you go from high school that you can do everything to the highest level of basketball. But me playing against Larry Drew and not only then earning a starting position next to him, but there wasn't, honestly, the rest of my career in college, there wasn't anybody better than me playing against a first-round draft pick. So I think it's some people don't understand when they watch the game, unless you watch it up close and get down on the floor, know how big and how quick and aggressive guys are. But, I had a great group of guys to play with. We had great teams, nationally ranked basically for 4 years, and challenging, to say the least.
Tell us about the story about you and Steve coming in together and kind of the recruitment and how the decision ultimately was made that you both would end up here. And, of course, talking about Steve Stepanovich, if you don't know, the former All-American as well.
So, great story. Steve Stepanovich was one of the top 3 guys in high school basketball in 1979. Steve was from St. Louis de Smet. I was from Kansas City, Blue Springs High School. And the reality was we were both highly recruited. We were going to meet in a state championship. I didn't fulfill the deal. Steve got to the state championship and won. Our team got beat coming to the Final Four. Steve and I didn't know each other, but because of the recruiting process, we kind of knew each other.
Right.
Now, Missouri sent an assistant coach to his high school every day and another assistant coach to my high school every day. every day. And I used to tell Coach Garner, Coach, you don't have to come see me. Yes, I do, every day. Long story short, I was considering Arkansas. They had Scott Hastings. I wanted to play with another good big guy, Eddie. They had just gotten a Final Four. Texas, Kansas State, Kansas. We all thought, the rest of the country thought, Steve Stepanovich was going to Notre Dame. Catholic kid, played for Digger Phelps. Odd deal. If you go back when Bird played Magic in the championship on a Monday night, I think Steve called me on a Sunday night. Now, again, we didn't have cell phones, so you're calling the house. Steve calls, and we talk, and here's two 17-year-old kids talking. Where are you going? And Steve said, I don't know who said it. I said, we could go together to go to Mizzou. And Steve said, okay, let's do that. And I said, don't tell anybody, because I have an official visit to go to Arkansas this weekend, and I need to, honor that.
Yeah.
Long story short, Monday, the game of the Bird Magic matchup, I'm at the gym after school. Here comes Gary Garner walking in, and he's excited. He said, did you hear the news? I said, what news? He said, Steve Stepanovich had a press conference and said he's coming to Mizzou, and he hopes his good friend John Sumbolt's coming too. And that was the first time I thought, well, that big dummy, because I'm just standing there. So I go in, I call my dad on the lumberyard. I called my dad. I called my mom. I said, hey, I think I'll just tell Coach Garner I'm going to Missouri. And my dad said, okay, call the Texas coach, call the Arkansas coach. I did all that. Yeah. So I come out. I tell Gary Garner, I said, hey, I'm going to Mizzou. And Coach Garner got kind of crazy running around. He said, you don't need a press conference? I said, no, I'm good. So let's go call Coach Stewart. But that was a night that then Bird Magic played. The fun part of those years was the fact that I was from the west side of the state. Right. Steve was from the east. And so it kind of happened in a good way, and then we had a lot of success.
Yeah, you had success. And before we close, you just got to give us what it was like back then to play for Coach Stewart.
Coach Stewart demanded perfection. He demanded us to be good, and I loved it because he challenged us every day, good or bad. Challenged us every day. Sometimes when we won, I remember my junior year, we won our first 19 games, number one in the country. There were times we thought maybe we should lose one so he'll be easier on us. But he was challenging. He was tough. But the guys I played with, we liked it. We relished in it. In the last 2 years, my junior, senior year, we didn't lose many games because of what he demanded. We kind of responded to that and loved it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It's always great to see you.
Hey, M-I-Z.
Z-O-U. John Sunvold, ladies and gentlemen. Tamar Bates is next on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products. We've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
It's game day, Tigers. Score big with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home court advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
Come on. That was me, a proper internet troll, finally having enough, all because of slow, spotty internet. We've all been there. So switch to Brightspeed Fiber Internet. Its ultra-fast fiber and wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage have me throwing out likes and hearts like confetti at a parade. I love parades. Who knew?
Brightspeed Fiber Internet. Switch to the bright side at brightspeed.com/today. Limited availability in select areas.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
Ho, welcome to the Make It Jingle with Kris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi.
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Tiger Talk continues from Harpo's in downtown Columbia. I'm Mike Kelly. I hope you enjoyed our conversation with former Mizzou All-American John Sundvold. Socket Fiber brings you this segment, and we welcome in a guy that, again, had a game on Sunday, didn't he? Career high, or a season high, 29. Please welcome Tamar Bates, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I told you this just a moment ago. The only thing I didn't like about the court storming is that I didn't get a chance to see your baby girl down on the court after the game. You know, which would have been cool to see. But anyway, yeah. But you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was probably a good thing that she stayed up there because
she was safe and sound.
Yeah, the students probably wouldn't have seen her, and I wouldn't have liked it if somebody would have ran her over. Then I would have had to get into a whole different.
Yeah, so you're locked in, right? The game's taking place. You're just trying to finish it out. There was a moment in time where you came to the bench. You knew the victory was secured, and you kind of allowed your emotions to come out. Just take us through that moment and towards the end of the game, if you will.
Well, I like you said, I was just so focused and so like into all the details of the game and just doing my best to stay in the moment and keep the team in the moment. And just when the clock started to, get closer to 0 and I got subbed out the game and it was just another roar of applause. And I just realized that, we got the job done. All that was going through my mind was the preparation that led up to the game, the focus that the entire group had. And, I was just proud of the team and just proud that we were able to, give the fans what they came for.
Speaking of the fans, when did you realize that thousands of your friends were about ready to join you on the court?
Like you said, about 3 minutes left. I saw them all the way up top starting to come down. I said, oh, yeah, it's about to get real.
It's about ready to get real.
But, yeah. And I mean, like the freshmen and even some of the guys that transfer, like Mark being at Duke, they got the court stormed on them a lot. So, like, the freshmen and like I said, Mark and even Tony, like, everybody who just kept talking about, like, they've never been part of a court storming, like, on their own terms. And, like, playing at Indiana, like, that Purdue-Indiana rivalry, like, I was part of one. So that was another thing, like a big motivating factor for me that I just wanted my teammates to have that experience.
When it started to unfold, again, just take us through your mindset and what was going through your mind as again, you're surrounded by literally thousands trying to do an interview post-game.
Just that we controlled our own destiny. We wrote our names in history. And, I mean, obviously it's December and we have – like a lot more work to do, and we're continuing to grow as a team. But we weren't gonna let like that moment in time like just pass. Like we definitely enjoyed it, and we were glad that we got the job done.
So many things to talk about with you. We'll do that after this. More with Tamar Bates on Tiger Talk on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Addison's restaurants are great local spots to visit before or after all Mizzou home games. Addison's has 2 locations to choose from in Southwest and downtown Columbia. Addison's features a full bar with over 20 beers on tap, including local brewers, and of course their famous Nachos Bianco. So, before or after the game, stop by Addison's. View the full menu online for both locations at addisonsgrill.com.
Hey friends, Matza Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. You know, so many people are stuck in the moat of mundaneness when it comes to their frozen pizza choice. Same cardboard crust, flavorless sauce, second-rate cheese. You know, all the assumptions of a frozen pizza. Well, it's time to ditch the downer and throw out that theory by diving into a Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. Thin, cracker-like crust, a bold, tasty sauce, high-quality meat and veggie toppings, and bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning mozzarella cheese. There is nothing humdrum about a Brewpub pizza. See for yourself. Snag one today from the frozen pizza section at your local grocery store.
Tiger Talk on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield, from Harpo's. Glad you're all here with us. Sincerely appreciate you being here. A reminder that Missouri will play Long Island University at 11 a.m. coming up this Saturday morning. There are tickets available. Go online to mutigers.com. A couple ticket specials available. And again, we'd love to see you at Mizzou Arena coming up on Saturday morning. Then Jacksonville State, and then off to Illinois on the 22nd to take on the Fighting Illini in the bragging rights game. Tamar Bates is with us, season-high 29 points against Kansas. That doesn't tell the entire story, though. Coach Gates and I were talking about this earlier, and you heard this, and I've said this to you before. You're a different ball player this year. Your mindset right now is at a different space than it was a year ago. Can you take that and elaborate on that point for me?
I mean, for me, everything that I do, whether it's with the team or if it's by myself in terms of like working out or watching film, recovering, taking care of my body, everything that I'm doing is all catered towards winning. That's where my mindset is. Like I just want to win. Like obviously we had a tough season last year, and I mean the entire offseason it was just a completely different focus, and I mean, yeah, that's all it comes down to is just winning ball games.
Yeah, but I'm hearing more of your voice when it comes to practice, when it comes to walkthroughs, when it comes to things during the course of the game. When did you become comfortable in the fact that you needed to be that voice that needs to be heard with this group?
Well, we have a lot of different leaders on the team, guys that lead by example. Some guys that are vocal leaders like myself, but I just was able to like read the room and read the team and just see how much influence I had on all of my teammates. And obviously I'm a vocal guy by nature. So, I mean, it just came down to the coaches constantly saying player-led teams are the best teams. So I just knew that I had to take on that responsibility and just be able to just be an everyday guy. And obviously, like you said, just have my voice be heard on a consistent basis.
What do you like about the makeup of this group? And obviously, it's a lot of new faces from a year ago. So what do you like about this influx of players that have come in and how they've bonded, I guess, in a short amount of time?
Yeah, to speak to the bonding, I mean, since we got here in June, like we've all just been really close, like whether it's just like watching games together, going out to dinner, I mean, just spending time together away from basketball. And obviously some guys, whether it's like the group from Florida with Ant and Marcus, and then you got me, Aiden, and Mark, and then even Grill, and you got guys that are in Trent and T.O. being from Oklahoma. Like you got guys that had relationships prior to coming to Mizzou. So, I mean, that obviously helped, but we've spent a lot of time just bonding away from basketball, and that's like been able to benefit us on the floor.
You and Ant have an interesting relationship, not only teammates but also a brotherhood, right? And you could see that starting to come into play a year ago. I have to ask you though, you need to explain this to me. So a year ago, prior to leaving the court, you guys would do this like baseball pass type thing. Not sure what that was.
Yeah.
What was that a year ago?
We did it with Sean. That was just like our little pregame routine. I mean, obviously, like you said, me and Ant, like it's like a big brother, little brother. Like that's really like my dog. So, I mean, it was just like a little pregame routine. We always dancing and having fun. So like, it was just something that we just came up with.
So let's flash forward to you two are introduced. Usually the first two introduced. What's this little thing you got going on with the shooting and the jumping and the?
That's what I'm saying. We just always messing around.
So is it ad lib every time?
What you mean?
Is it the same thing after you're introduced?
Yeah, it's the same little handshake. We roll the dice and then jump and but yeah, like we just always messing around like and just having fun and that's just like our. And obviously, like it looks like we enjoy that moment, like in the lineups when we do our little handshake. But like that's like another thing like that we do right before the game. Is be like, all right, let's go to work.
How much have you grown as an individual since leaving Indiana and stepping on this campus a year ago?
I mean, it's hard to measure. I've Coach Gay spoke to it. Like I've grown. I feel like I've grown more. As a father, as a son, as a brother, as an uncle, as a teammate. I mean, I've grown more off of the court than I have in terms of basketball, and I feel like that's allowed me to be a better basketball player, a better leader, a better young man, and that's just all a credit to the entire coaching staff wrapping their arms around me, believing in me, and just making sure that my dreams and what I want to do with the game of basketball are just as important to them as it is to me.
For those who don't know, how old is baby girl now?
She's 2, and she'll be turning 3 March 20th.
And her name?
Leilani.
Leilani. Okay, so have you? Jacob Cruz is the new father. Mm-hmm. JJ came 3 months ago, I think.
Yep.
So have you shared any advice or conversations with Jacob Cruz about being a father?
Yeah. I mean, we talked obviously like before JJ was born, and then now, like as he's continuing to get older, he'll just ask me questions sometimes, and I told him like the first month, 3 months is gonna be extremely difficult, like just with sleep and like just obviously with like his wife like recovering and just how he's gonna have to help and be up in the middle of the night, and I just know it's tough because he has to do all those things at JJ's early age at home, and then have to turn around and come to practice and give what we need from him on a daily basis.
You don't get to this position, right, unless you have people in your support group along the way. Give us an idea and give, I guess, pay tribute to those people that have led you to this point.
Well, I mean, the first 2 people was obviously my parents. I mean, they've poured into me, I mean, just like unimaginable amounts. I mean, they support everything that I do. Like they've, been my biggest fans, my biggest motivators since I started playing basketball, and like my entire family, my brother, my sisters. I mean, everybody just like like I said, everybody just believes in me, and I mean, and they hold me accountable, and I feel like that's the main thing. Like my household is really competitive, and that's like. I feel like that's where a lot of my competitive nature comes from, just because like we compete at home. Like on Christmas, we play like games trying to like see who wins. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like that's just, I mean, who I am is a lot credited to my family and just like how I was raised.
What's your message to these fans about what they can do for you? And as short as possible, because you hear the theme music in the background. Your message to these fans.
Just continue to support us. I mean, through good and bad, and I mean, as long as y'all just can continue to show up and just continue to show us that